and I'm introducing Najla. She has completed her RPCC Group 1 and she is also doing her BCom in Calicut University, and I welcome her.
So Najla will be covering which sector today?
I'll be covering global economy.
Okay.
And I'll be touching upon the topics of capital goods market in the US and the global private sector, the situation of the global private sector. The US Fed market, they had their first meeting, so about that. And then I'll also be covering Trans-Pacific trade deal. And I'll also be covering the speculation that GCC will adjust their peg rate to of US dollars to the US dollar. And I'll be finally concluding with talking about the global worries that were recently discussed in the World Economic Forum. So the first one is we'll be talking about the capital goods market in the US. So orders for US capital goods dropped in November for the first time in 3 months, showing business began tempering new investment after the third quarter surge. So what happened is basically that in the third quarter of 2015, this is published in December of 2015. So in the third quarter of 2015, we had a surge in the capital goods market in the US, but it slowly declined in the fourth quarter, and we have so they're talking about the several challenges that are facing American producers. They are contending with a strong dollar and reducing overseas demand and a recent inventory overhang. So we all know that the manufacturing is one of the weakest sections of the economy. So in spite of this, in spite of the manufacturing economy, manufacturing sector being sluggish, the rest of the economy is still quite okay, because it is offset by the increase in the services sector. Okay. So
This year speaking about which country? Globally? US, okay.
Yes. Okay, then the bookings for non-military equipment excluding planes declined 0.4% after a 0.6% increase in October. That is in the third quarter. There was a 0.6% increase and it decreased to 0.4% growth.
Next.
Then basically it's yeah. So in spite of the global, capital goods market decrease, there's an increase in the household spending, and also for durable products such as cars and appliances, there's been an increase.
So this is a positive sign from the US economy. Yeah. Next.
Then next we'll be covering private sector begins 2016 on a weak footing. So currently, due to the volatile conditions of the global market, the private sector economy is facing lots of challenges, and it is the onus is upon the central banks to correct the situation, because as we discussed, China is currently going through a phase of sluggish growth, low growth, and but even though China has problems, one positive factor is that the activity in the service sector expanded at its fastest pace in 6 months, and it partially offset the weakness in the vast manufacturing industry. So the general opinion is that if the external concerns grow and some of these downside risks with respect to China it crystallizes, then the situation for this year looks bad. But equally, if in a couple of months' time people are less concerned about China and there are tentative signs of export growth picking up, then the outlook is much better.
Okay.
And then
next.
And then we have so the US Fed Bank, we recently held their first meeting. So the main plan was actually, so the plan for this year, before the global market situation, volatile situation, is they were actually going to increase the interest rates 3 to 4 times this year. But due to the volatile global market conditions, mainly due to the oil prices, they have kind of set back these plans, and they are now in a situation of waiting and watching what happens in the global markets and then reacting accordingly. So the one more thing, apart from the global market conditions, is that they are waiting for the US NFP data. That is the National Employment
Data.
Statistics data. Yes. So they are waiting for it, and if the report comes out badly, if it states that the labor markets are also poor, they might set back these plans of having increasing the interest rates.
Okay. So just to add here, in fact, the employment rate in the US has declined. So that is the latest update. Yeah.
Okay. So they are mainly in the wait and watch mode, and any rebellious economic condition will push their hand to make a U-turn in their overall policy.
When is the meeting held?
It was held. It was already held. We haven't.
On the 5th. Okay. Next.
So the next one is we'll be talking about, yes, the Trans-Pacific Trade Deal. It is one of the world's biggest multinational trade deals. It has this deal will cover, if it comes into existence, I mean, if it will be ratified, it will be covering 40% of the world's economy, and it has 12 member countries, which includes Australia, Canada, Chile, Japan, Singapore, the United States, and Vietnam.
So what is this deal all about?
Yes, I'll be talking about that. It will set common standards on issues like workers' right to intellectual property rights. Will cover a vast variety of areas. So right now they have actually just signed this. This is on 4th of Feb. They have signed this deal, but it will pass through a 2-year ratification period, after which at least 6 countries out of these 12 countries have to approve the final draft. And included among the 6 countries is obviously US and Japan has to sign because of their large size. Okay, so they would need to ratify the deal. But since the presidential elections are coming up, and President Barack Obama, he's actually a supporter of TPP, but he has oppositions from the many US Democrats and some Republicans, and thus it is unlikely that this deal will pass through the Congress before his expiry of his presidential term. And then next we have speculation that the GCC countries and GCC will they stick to the dollar peg or will they change? So the general sentiment is that they will stick to the
Dollar peg.
And the collapse of global oil prices and the blank outlook for recovery in the near future, that's basically what has led to this speculation as to whether they will change the currency rates, forex rates. And in particular, they are worrying about Saudi Arabia, whether that country will change the peg rate. So there are 3 aspects to consider when evaluating the future path of forex policy in the GCC. One is the willingness, desirability, and ability to maintain the pegs. So the general sentiment is that GCC countries want to maintain they are willing to maintain the peg rate, and because they still have seizable foreign assets, and many have started reforms to achieve fiscal sustainability, even without the oil. This thing. So that's basically it. And then we have the World Economic Forum, where the main concerns were deep uncertainties about the global economy, volatile commodity prices, and major geopolitical instabilities and increased dangers of terrorism. These were the main topics that were touched upon in the World Economic Forum. And there were also concerns about the speed of the slowdown in China. The government claims 6.9% increase, growth rate, but it is not compared